Hi, I'm Monica Teurlings, and thanks for tuning in to this week's Spirit Story. So today what I'd like to do is share a story of a reading that I did, and it was a mom and a daughter that came to me, and a lot of it was for the daughter. And I'm sharing this story because it really does kind of show that our loved ones that are no longer here are still really with us. And I think this reading kind of gives an example of that, and so I wanted to share. So it started with a mom and a daughter coming to sit with me, and I instantly knew there was a dad here. So I instantly knew that. And in the beginning, it just kind of started off with the dad giving me a feeling of him being at his daughter's school. And I had the feeling that the dad was there all the time, like every day. Like I got the feeling like he would have been a teacher, but I mean, he wasn't a teacher, but he was there all the time, like as if he actually worked there. And the daughter, and he showed me a track field. So outside, like a track field and like the bleachers. And the daughter said my dad always was with me at my sporting events, and he was there every day, and he was always showing up and being there and being supportive, and sometimes he even coached some of my sports. And I said, well, he's acknowledging this. And he's also telling me that, that you had just gotten a driver's license. Like he's letting me know that he knows that you drive. And so I'm getting the feeling that he passed before you drove. And so I'm getting the feeling that he's letting me know that he's aware that you have a driver's license. And she says, yes. And I said, I kind of feel like he had planned to kind of teach you to drive. And, but he's acknowledging that you do have your license, and he's kind of like, good job. And then, I started feeling things like, then he started telling me a little bit about himself, right? So like that he was really athletic, and I felt like he was really on the bicycle all the time, like riding the bike, riding the bike, riding the bike, riding the bike. And she says he was very active, very into fitness, and he rode the stationary bike every single day. And I said, okay, because this is what he's showing me. And she says, yes, always, every day. I said, so, fitness was really important to him. And she said, yes. And I said, okay, well, he's letting me know that you are going on a vacation with your friends, or like peers, like you're going on a trip. You're going on a vacation or a trip? And she says, yes, when I graduate, so I guess she was a senior, when I graduate this year, we're going on a trip with a bunch of kids from school. And I said, so dad started kind of giggling, and he's like, let mom know I'm going to be on that trip. And he's really excited about it. And so it was really cute because he was saying, tell mom that trip will be chaperoned. He's going to be there, and he's super, super excited. And I really felt Europe, and she said yes. And I said, your dad's saying something about the Trevi fountain, that I kind of have a feeling that you should bring coins to this Trevi fountain. And I feel like you're going to make a little bit of a connection with your dad there. And he's going to be there, and he's super excited to be on this trip. And she says, terrific. I said, well, now, your dad is also telling me that you have something very special of his, very special for you, that there's something that you have that is important for the two of you. So it signifies the two of you, and it gives you a lot of memory of your dad. I feel like it's glass, and it's hanging in your room on your ceiling. Does that make sense to you? Can you understand that? And she says, she looked at her mom, and oh my gosh, and she said, yes, my dad and I were together one day, and he bought me these two glass butterflies. One is him, one is me. And it's hanging on my ceiling in my room above my bed. I say, well, your dad knows that. So he's acknowledging that you have these, this hanging on your room. And so that was really huge for her, because it really let her know that he's around. And, he kept giving me this thought in my head, and I kept pushing it out because it didn't really seem like it meant something. I thought, oh, what is this? So he would give me this thought, and I would kick it out, and he would kick it back in, and I would kick it out, and he kicked it back in, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say it. Apparently he wants me to say it. So I said to her, I said, your dad's telling me you're going to be on a bus. I wasn't going to say anything, but then I decided to, and he's telling me you're going to be on a bus. So does that make any sense to you? And she says, my birthday is next week, and we have a party bus. We have a party bus for my birthday. And I said, okay, well, dad's saying that he's going to be on that bus too. So she was really excited about that, to know that her dad like knows about her birthday coming up and knows that she's got a party bus for her birthday. So it was really cool. And then he gave me this name, Rick. And I said, your dad has given me the name Rick. Does that mean anything to you? I'm feeling Rick. And she says, and then the mom and the daughter looked at each other and says, oh my gosh, that was my dad's very best friend since childhood, friends forever. And he died the same day as my dad. And it was amazing. So he was letting his daughter know that he's aware of Rick's passing on the same day and that they're together. And so that was really amazing. And they were really happy to know that. And so she, so we went on and I was talking to the mom and I said, he tells me that you have a man in your life. And she says, I do. And I said, he's making me feel like he's a nice guy. And she said, well, we were married before her dad passed. We were divorced already. And I said, okay, but he's a nice guy because he says he likes him. And she says, yes, they got along well. And I said, okay. And then I turned to the daughter and I felt, but you kind of feel a little guilty about really loving him because you feel a little bit guilty about the loyalty to your dad. And your dad is telling me it's okay. So he's giving me a thumbs up. It's okay. He's a good guy. And that was really nice for her to hear because she struggled with that a little bit, the loyalty of her dad, and her dad's not here, and, is it a replacement kind of a thing? And dad was good with it. And so that was really nice for her. So towards the end of the reading, we had talked about, is there any questions that you have? And she says, yes. When my dad passed, he never wrote me a letter, never a note, a card, a video, nothing. And he didn't leave me anything like that. And why? Like, why didn't he do that? And then, I got flooded with this feeling that like literally flooded me, like the gates of water just flooded. I mean, it was overwhelming, like flooded of this feeling of like a desperation, kind of like this sadness, like a desperation, like he really needed to get something put across. So that was that feeling I was getting, like he really needed to make this point. And he said, I was on medication. I said, your dad was on medication? And she says, yes. I said, he's saying that he was not himself at the end. When he realized he was dying, it was too late. His mind wasn't there anymore. He was on this medicine and he just wasn't himself anymore. And that's what he's telling me. Can you understand that? And she says, yes, he was like that. And the mother agreed, like, yes, it was. And he's telling me to let you know that you are not to leave today without absolutely knowing, without absolutely knowing that that had nothing to do with his love for you. That he was unable at that point. It went so far that he couldn't go back, and it was too far along for him to make a video, write a card, or make a letter, anything like that. It isn't that he didn't want to, it was he wasn't able to anymore. And he wants you to really, 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 really know not to leave today without completely understanding that he loves you, and that him not being able to do that did not mean at all any type of lack of love for you at all. It was just he wasn't able to. And it's really, really important that you know that today. And are you sure? Do you understand? I made it such a point to be clear with her because he made it such a point for me to make sure I got it across to her that she knew that just because he didn't leave a note or a card or a letter, that didn't mean that he didn't love her to the moon and back. And so that gave her a lot of joy. And so that was pretty much, the reading, parts that I want to share. But I think that it was really exciting to know that, your loved ones are still with us and they watch what's going on. And it was nice. I really think that was a great reading for her. And it was great. So I was really happy to be able to bring forward her dad and be able to share these special things and to let her know for sure that her dad is around her all the time. So that's it. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the story, and hope to see you again and tune in next time for my next spirit story. Until then, love and light and be well.